Hey everybody, Scott here for the Helix channel. It's Tuesday. It's not Monday. What happened? Well, yesterday I took the day off because I had to do the volume setting on Sunday for the latest preset package, 70s Rock Volume 1, and then do all the cataloging of the IRs on Sunday night, so it didn't feel like a day off to me, so I took yesterday off. Went to Guitar Center South, had lunch with a friend, then we went to Guitar Center North, tried out some Les Pauls. He was really interested in getting a Les Paul, so we found a really cool used one, and I played it for a while, and it's a damn fine guitar. So we bought it. Fuck it. And I helped. Stovetop stuffing. I helped. And today I'm going to do tutorials this week, and we're going to get into the new Placator, which is the Friedman amp model, and show you how to use it for all your needs. It's not just a big, crunchy, heavy amp. I'm going to show you how to make it into a clean, funky amp today. Shall we? Alrighty, let's go with this sucker. Now, the first snapshot is hot funk. That's what I'm calling it. Not cool punk, not old junk, but hot funk. And all the stuff here is the same throughout, but, you know, some of it comes on and comes off. And, you know, basically just changes. I think I'm going to leave most of it on. The only thing I'm turning off is the compulsive drive here in the bottom path. Leave everything else on. Now, the compressor for this is a lot more than my current compression that I've been doing, but for a clean, you know, it's sort of a mildly driven funk sound. It's still very clean, and when you go in between pickups on the Strat, it totally cleans up. Tomorrow's snapshot will be the Fat Strat, and that'll be a totally clean preset as well. So I'm giving options for as far as the snapshots go. Now, it goes without saying that you need to pull the drive back to clean up the placator. And for me, I'm also removing all the bass, all the mids. And that, to me, is also important. I don't know why this got turned down to 0, but it did. I think I was testing the bottom amp out, and I turned that one off. It's cool. So the other things that get changed, I'm cranking the channel volume, because you need to when you reduce the drive and the master. The master is down to 4.4, and I am totally turning off all of these options on this amp because they all add gain. They're all, you know, gain stages, and I think the saturation is a multiple gain stage all in one switch there. So I also come over to the bias and pull down some of the bias control. That is how you clean up this amp. You have to have all of these 4 things turned off. And I'm doing it with both of the, they're basically set the same. And yeah, more or less set the same. The only differences are I'm using a different cabinet on the bottom. And I'm using a couple of, a 212 on the bottom here. And then a high watt 412 5A, which I really love. Now, I'm having to boost the level of the IR quite a bit because, like I said, this amp gets quiet when you pull the drive down so low and the master down. I'm using some pitch shifting. This time I'm using the pitch shifting after the amp, which is rare for me. I just wanted, gives you a little bit more control over it, and you can actually turn up the mix of it higher in this way. Doing a lot of EQing to remove some bottom end and boost some top end, and pull down a bunch of mids. I'm using a plate reverb. Now, another thing I'm doing at the end of the output here of the first signal path is boosting the level. And I kind of need to do that because if I'm going to keep up with the, because I plan on doing a 70s rock and an 80s rock snapshot for numbers 3 and 4. So I'm going to want to be able to keep up with those. So, you know, boosting the the output is a good way to do that. Another pitch shifter over here. And there's the compulsor drive. I'm not using it on this particular snapshot. The amp, basically the same stuff is happening on this one. Turning all those off, pulling down the bias, the ripple, bias X, the, that's supposed to be a 10. I think this one's up here at 10. Yeah. Which is actually quite high. Normally they're at about negative 14 to negative 20, depending. Now, I think I'm removing less, yeah, a little bit less bottom end on this one, boosting some top and removing some mids, another, another reverb, and as usual, to connect the two, I'm putting in a volume here because it uses up the least amount of DSP. And it's only used to create this secondary path so that I can go like this. Sorry, my thing is is moving. And turn this down so that the paths connect. That way I can share the compressor. I wouldn't have to do this. I could just, make this go straight. If you want a much more complex sound, you could put in a completely different IR down here, or more effects if you want, if you're into that. And then just, turn this one on and give it its own compressor. But I find this way works really well for me. And I'm going to grab a guitar and play some bits. There you go, everybody. Good times. You can order the 70s Rock Volume 1 preset package. There's a link in the description still. And tomorrow, I'll be back with a Name That Riff and some more of this action, because this is going to be a 4-snapshot preset when it's done on Friday, and then it'll become the free set on Friday when it's all done. So we're going to work on it all week, and I'm going to take you through it as I do it. And I'm finding that I can use the Placator for pretty much everything. Although I think the Boogie Lone Star still is a better clean sound. Plus it's a much louder amp model. When you clean up this one, you've got to boost the output to get the volume up there enough. And you have to boost the IR levels. So, it all depends on, where your preferences lie. But I'm finding it very useful. So, there's that. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, rock on.